Welcome to our Divine Origin Forum. Tonight's topic is your life mission. Please remain muted as we start with an opening prayer. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. We thank you for answering the call from on high to attend the forum. Let us join our hearts and minds in preparation to receive the blessings offered. We ask you to please release your day from your mind and center yourself. Breathe in deeply and release. Breathe in deeply and release. Take one last deep breath in and release. Relax the tension in your body and your mind. Now bring your full attention to the forum. Be fully present in order to receive and fully retain the discourse gifts. John, this is not recorded. Could you please start the video? And Barbara, can we please have your discourse?
Thank you. Your life mission. I felt that this video really laid it out so beautifully. There is so much for us to understand about the whys and wherefores of what happens in our life. It's always been very difficult until you get the hang of it, because you have circumstances that happen that are very painful, especially as children, because kids can be very mean. And if they are left to their games, and they target you because you're sensitive, and you allow them to do what they do, you're not the bully, it's a little difficult to get over that. And it kind of molds you as you go along. When I have counseled children, I really help them to understand what this video that we saw was all about. How you just have to look at yourself. And first of all, believe me, if you don't love and accept yourself, nobody else is really going to see you. They'll only see the wounded part of you. They'll see the part that you want to change, but you don't. And that's what they're going to keep seeing, because that's going to be reflected to them. So if you've been bullied as a kid, then they're going to see that point in you, and they are going to take advantage of that. Nobody's here to hurt you. If that point got through to you in the video, everything that happens is for our highest good. How does that work? It works because when we look at ourselves through the situations that we keep having, and we see patterns that keep repeating themselves, we say to ourselves, how much longer am I going to go through this same exact experience? And then you make a decision. I'm not going to go through it in the same way. I'm going to try something new. Remember, I told you the story about this pattern that just kept happening over and over and over, to the point where it was getting kind of really weird. And I finally said to myself, okay, I'm not going to react. the way I always did. I'm going to handle it differently and see what happens. And it was magical. It was magical. The person that I was with, that I had the scenario over and over with, was shocked, didn't know what to do because I didn't do the usual dance. If nothing else, I ask you to please witness yourself in everything. I know how we can look at somebody else that we're with and we can give a description, never ending, about our take on who they are and what they are and what their problem is. We got them all figured out, but we're only talking about ourselves. You see, we're talking about ourselves and what we need to work on. If nothing else, over the many, many years of doing counseling, I learned this. I learned it royally, that anything that I dealt with that gave me an ache in my gut or made me feel uncomfortable or offended, it was mine too. If not, I knew that I was there to give advice, which I did anyway, even if it did hurt, and to be a helping hand in the situation. The many aspects of what was discussed in the video was really very beautifully said, because this is really the stepping stones to healing. The reason you came in was not to do what everybody else thinks in 3D, to be successful in a job, blah, 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 blah. That all comes along with the gift of what? Of what you have mastered in other lifetimes. Those gifts and innate gifts and talents that you came in with. And those of you that are working on the academy with me, this is part of the program that we're going to install for the children, especially the very young ones, to help them to understand this, that they have gifts and talents, and we will observe that so that they can, we can lead them in the direction of their strengths, so they can bypass many, many years of trying to figure out, what did I come here for? What do I want to do with my life? All of us have gone the long path. It's a very long path to discovery. And the discovery is not about other people. It's the discovery of ourself. And other people helped us get there. Other people show us parts of ourself. You'll recognize it right away. You don't need to ask anybody. When somebody does something, you know you do it too. You know it. We might not like it in that other person, but believe me, they don't like it in us either. But they tolerate it. Life becomes so much fun when you look at it in a different point of view, a 5D view. If you understand every experience you had was absolutely a training and a test for you to see where you are. If you feel that you're in a good place and then one day something happens and you lose it, you know you're not done. You're not done because you have buttons that get pushed. I get buttons pushed. However, I have come to a point where they are so small and so unable to twist me that even in circumstances that I normally would have gotten offended and tried to defend myself, I don't bother doing it, because guess what? I learned, go off, Barbara, and take care of business. They just gave you a gift. People used to say to me, boy, that's some gift. I don't want gifts like that. And I say, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because this way you can move yourself out of that space that you're still in. If things trigger you and you hold on to pain and anger and frustration, you're just prolonging what inevitably is going to keep cycling back until you get it. Let it go. It doesn't hurt anyone but you. Live your life, go forward, do the things that make you feel that you're expressing who you really are. And you know the heart that you have. You know the love that's inside you. Now, another very interesting aspect of that video was that even things that you might feel is holding you back or is not something that you've been proud of, it might be guiding you towards understanding that you can use this in a very positive way. You can turn it around from a negative experience to a positive experience. Being stubborn. Being stubborn is somebody that believes deeply in whatever the situation may be. And they're going to hold their ground because they feel in their heart that they're not going to believe that it is not something that they need to look at and work with. Now, I used to feel when I was stubborn because I wanted to do it myself, sound like a 2-year-old, and I wasn't, but I wanted to do it myself. And I stuck to my guns. I did it the hard way, though, because I was being guided and I didn't really take the guidance. I did it my way. But I learned and I stopped doing it and I surrendered. If you can surrender to your issues that you know keep you from going forward and keeping you from your greatest peace, then please address it, change your mind about it. Don't beat yourself up. Just stop doing what you were doing. Okay? If you don't, and it's something that is kind of getting in the way of you moving forward, then you might want to rethink that because there's no need to slow yourself down. You just want to it's actually riding the wave of light. Everything is given to us right now. All the planets are lined up. Everybody on the other side is focused on this planet for the graduation. It is quite phenomenal. So all you have to do is ask and you shall receive. And that is a promise that you've been given, and it does happen that way. The video also was talking about the Akashic record. Now, I feel that presentation about that part of it, it's not going to quite work that way. It didn't for me. I would ask questions of my higher self, and then I would receive inspiration, maybe not at the same time, but later. Or somebody would say something and trigger a memory. And that is a little more realistic of how it works. But I can promise you, you don't have to do past life regressions because what happens every day in your life is by design in order to bring you to work on the things that you came in to do. What was written within that master's script that is your mission of missions. Your higher self only wants you to ascend and become it, become the totality of divinity. So honestly, don't worry about trying to read the Akashic record. And honestly, I have learned that people tell you you have to use certain wordings and do certain things and be in a certain place. Please make it your own. Put your own personality into it. The masters love that. When you say something from your heart, that's when you'll get responses. You be polite, you be gracious, you be in a great deal of gratitude constantly for every bit of wisdom and inspiration that's sent to you. And even if it hadn't come yet, I say thank you, as if it did. It's a kind of little bit of a shortcut that I learned along the way. When you're grateful and you say what you say, that I'm grateful for whatever it was that you were looking for. And I'm going to give you a very, very clear example of this. Now, whether it was just by chance or whatever, I didn't look at it that way because I was trying to get a little bit of sun. I try to get 20 minutes a day of bright sun. And these clouds started coming from the north. And I got like, I only had a half hour to really be doing this because I had counseling to do. And I said to the sleuths that they are responsible for the wind and the movement of the clouds. I said, would you just make a space in the clouds so I could get my 20 minutes in, and then you can close up the clouds and it'll be fine. Well, it happened. There was the sun, the dark clouds were all around it, and the sun was shining on me. And I'm going, I'm not sure this is because I asked, but thank you so much because it felt so good. You can see I get a little color in my face, right? And it also stimulates your digestive system and it helps with a lot of things. So, and I asked for 20 minutes and I'm telling you, 20 minutes later, that the clouds closed up and it was done. So I just sat there. I didn't, act like, oh my God. All I said was, thank you. Thank you for responding to my needs. Thank you for always giving me what I ask you for. A, a bill came in the mail that is really a lot of money. I forgot all about this was coming due. And on the same day that bill came, I got a check in the mail for almost the same amount. I'm telling you, when you have faith and when you believe that God is always there for you, your life will run in that, just like that. No longer will you get all scared and nervous. You'll just take every day and be in gratitude, knowing that God will always be there for you, your higher self, that flame inside you. Forget the spark. You guys are flames now. And every time you take in that divine light, it is stoking that fire within you. It's a remarkable process that goes on, and we don't even have a clue. You are divine beings. And what you say and what you wish for that won't hurt anybody will come true. It will come true. If it's something that is not selfish, something that is absolutely needed, it will come true. It'll come in a way that you never expected. And once you believe this with all your heart, you'll start knowing who you really are. And be very careful what you write down and what you say, because you are a creator. And the more that you believe that you are a divine being, the more you will create very quickly. So if you accidentally say something that no, or if it's outside of love, immediately wrap it in violet fire. Just send it out like you're shooting a gun at it, and take it back. Take it back. Do it very quickly, and you'll be able to recover it, and it won't go out of your fields. Okay? That's your safety valve. It was built into the system because they know us. And once we know ourselves, then we got to be on guard at all times. But all jest aside, I just want you to know that if you listen to that video again, take some of the really good suggestions of looking at yourself, thinking about the things that you have just natural gifts. You always did. It was very easy. Like my son, he'd take all his toys apart and then he'd put them back together. And he loved to do that. And Charlie was a aeronautic engineer. And I said, Charlie, I think he's going to be an engineer when he grows up. He goes, yeah, maybe, because he really is. He just knows how to build things and he investigates everything because that was his natural gift. No, he's not an engineer. He's a, a PhD chemist, but he's not practicing chemistry. He works for Roche. But anyway, point is, he's got that gift. And all of you do. You all have gifts. Some of you just are natural chefs. You could put together a meal that blows people's minds. They couldn't think of how to do it in 100 years. But you get in that kitchen and man, something happens inside you. And then there are those that are very mechanical, and anything that breaks down, you find a way to fix it. That isn't my specialty. Others of you have such compassion and the knowing that you can feel when somebody needs a helping hand, somebody needs to hear a kind word, or to know that somebody even would just listen to their story. Some of you are so athletic and you just can get out there and you could help people to see they can do this too. It's so healthy and good for them. There's so many aspects of what we can do when we tap into those gifts and talents that we naturally have. And I know people that have talents, but they don't want to make the effort to go in that direction. And that is something that's very sad because they'll struggle because they might want to just make money and they don't feel they'll make money if they do what they really love and have the talents to do. All of us have gone through all of these questions. But in segment 2, I want you to really give thoughts to what exactly from that list, and you don't have to be exact, but what is it that you have always had, even as a kid, a talent for? Was it gardening? Was it helping? Was it the leadership? What was it about you from the time you were little that you had this strength and this innate gift that you could pull it off so easily? Organizational skills, be able to, or you love to clean. I don't know anybody likes that, but there are people, and or people that love to organize things, make everything kind of like line up just right. There's so many areas. There's the medical fields that people want to help people get better and be there to nurture them through the whole time that they're going through something. I want you to think about what has always been yours, and let's bring that up as your story in segment 2. Would you do that? Because I think this would be very, very interesting. All right. So it's a little early, but let's go forward and we'll do the next step. And anybody that's listening on YouTube, and please go to our website, ourdivineorigin.com, or go onto our YouTube. You can hear this and see the video and hear the music and whatever else we do. And that's Our Divine Origin. It's a purple box with a white dove. All right. So thank you. And we're going to go into segment 2.
Thank
Robin?
you, Barb. John, can you stop the recording, please, and play?
The song was You Are Not Alone. And I can tell you for a fact, you are not alone. You've got guides and angels around you all the time. You just ask and they'll be there. Is your guardian angel. Your guardian angel is always with you, doesn't leave you. It's a volunteer that stays with you and loves you. And those that you love that passed, they've got their eye on you. And as long as you keep talking to them, they keep right with you. And they are talking back. You just may not hear them, but you'll feel them and you'll get all emotional. But they're really there. They're there because each dimension's just a little bit apart from each other. It's just quite remarkable. Everything in life is becoming extremely exciting because it isn't this big mystery anymore. It isn't. Just accept the divinity. Accept that you're never alone and you won't ever feel that way again. Thank you.
Thank you, Barb. John, can you pause the recording for segment 2? Barbara, can we have your closing statement, please?
So tonight's topic, your life mission, is a very important journey. It's a journey that's been going on, can't even measure the time, and it will go on for no measure of time. It will just continue. Can you imagine where we'll go once we get beyond the karmic ties and all of this 3D stuff that has taken us to the point that we're at now? Unloading. This is the unloading period. This is where we let go of everything that has ever stumped us, that has ever sent us wailing into the ocean winds and just took us down to our knees. Let it all go. You made no mistakes. Everything was for absolute cause and effect so that you could learn who you were and who you want to be. And all you've got to do is change your mind. I've said this for how many years now? Change your mind. Don't be the person you don't want to be. Be the person that you want to be. Be the person that makes you feel good about yourself. Be the person that expresses your heart. Be the person that you could want to squeeze and hug and say, "Oh, you're so nice. I love you." Because we've been beating ourselves up for the things that happened as if we were naughty or we were making mistakes. Love is a beautiful gift you give yourself. And when you give it to you, when you surround yourself with the love that you are, everything in your world changes. It becomes beautiful and holy. Everybody you meet, you see the beauty in them. You don't see the freckle. You see the beauty. You see the heart. No longer are you looking to take people down or to be better than them or bigger than them. You're not doing that. You're there to know them. I can relate to what Lauren was saying about the stories. I hung out with elders all the time because their stories were the coolest things I ever could hear. All the kids my age were so into things that just didn't interest me. They were always competing with each other. I didn't want that. But when I heard a story about someone that used to have a horse and buggy, and then they got a car, how many years later, and that they bought a farmhouse that was uh, looking like a haunted house, and they rebuilt it into a home and had all these kids and had the life that they always wanted. These are the people that built America. And these are the people that you were in other lifetimes, the beginnings of a new land, a magnificent builder, a heart of gold, a person who was strong. And yes, we could be willful, but we've learned to allow God's will to lead us and guide us. And when we surrender, this feeling of absolute joy overtakes us in a way that we never knew before. I get out in the world every once in a while, and it's the most beautiful experience. Every face that I look at, I feel like I know them. Everybody that walks by me, I feel as if I want to just hug them. It's even people that I would never go 100 miles near in the past. I look at them with such love and gratitude that I got to bless them this day, that I got to be out and saw somebody smile. They were all grumpy, and I kept smiling. Every time I saw them when they passed me, I smiled at them until they smiled on the next aisle over when we happened to be going in the opposite direction. It was so cool. You can change the world. You can change the world. That is part of your mission. You came here with the whole trip all signed out. All the things you had to get over was given to you. All the things that you needed to love came to you. Everything was inside you, waiting for you to discover it. And as you did, my alarm keeps going up, so I have to do. As you discovered it, it changes. It changes everything. The energy completely shifts. Not one of you here ever was alone. None of you here were ever a victim of anything. You were here to go through what you did, the hardest lessons, because you needed to know it and have it back up in your consciousness so that you could help others by the wisdom that you gained from going through the experiences that you did. Yeah. You are the strongest of the strong. And you are wise, and you are older than dirt. Your soul's been around so long, it's something that you can't fathom, but you've learned a lot. Every once in a while, did you notice somebody will say something and it triggers a memory? Somebody, or you'll read something or look at a video and it just triggers memory. You start saying, why does this feel so familiar to me? Why do I know it? Because you're digging into your Akashic record that's always open to you. It's always there. And believe me, you've been reading it. You've been reading it in your sleep. You don't even have to consciously read it. But like I say, you've got to ask. You've got to ask your higher self to reveal to you what you need to know for the day. And that's when I say I turn my life over to my divine will, and I allow that to guide me throughout each of my days. Now, some days don't work out quite like you wanted it to. And I look at it in perspective of what did I go through? How do I feel about it? And then I work with those feelings. This is mastery at its finest. People think you have to be some kind of guru thing to really make it in this world. I tell you, we've done all that. We've been in monasteries. We've been underground. We've been everywhere and did everything. And that's why we're the graduating class. That's why. We're ready. We're ready. We did what we needed to do. Now, any of you that are still going through some troublesome times, please just deal with it. There's no time left to just ignore anything. Deal with it, get it over with. Do it today or do it tomorrow, but you're going to do it because your higher self signed up for a time schedule here that we have to keep. And it's speeding forward. If you noticed, we're halfway through 26. It's like my brain doesn't wrap around it. Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to say to you this. There's nothing in this world that you can't move through. because your higher self will never bring you something that's outside of what you wrote in your script. Therefore, you are aware that you wrote it and that you're going to complete it. We're very, very clear, even though we don't consciously know how clear we've got that script. We review it at nighttime in our sleep state. We are reminded by our higher self on a regular basis. And when we get a little stubborn, like some of me, we will have a little struggle with something that could have gone nice and smooth. So if you struggle with something, know that you're fighting it, sit down and surrender. Say, okay, this is not working. I don't want to struggle. Let's just get this right. And you will get the help you need. I'm telling you, no matter whether it's physical, mental, emotional, relationship at work, whatever it is, surrender. It all of a sudden gets very clear on what you need to say and do. And when that inspiration comes through, I just go like this. Thank you, Lord. I am always in gratitude. I'm in gratitude when I'm crying and taking care of something that is hurting me. Why? Because I don't have to take it into tomorrow. That's the gift I give myself. So give yourself the gift. Don't put things off. Take care of it. Stay on target. And you will know the joy that passes understanding, honestly. With that, I'm going to close for the night, and I wish you all a wonderful week, and I'll see you then. For those of you that are signed up to go onto the retreat, or you want to go on the retreat, Monday, I have quite a bit to speak to you about. Okay? All right, so let's go to the planetary prayer. Please, everybody stay on, and God bless you all. I love you.
Thank you, Barb. Great evening. John, this continues to be recorded, and I will read our closing prayer. Please remain muted. We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, comments, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love from each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. So be it. We invite all of you to remain for the 10-minute prayer before saying goodnight to each other. We will be closing the evening with a planetary prayer as our collective call for the light to bless every kingdom upon the earth, to create a new heaven and a new earth. The words are on the screen to help you recite this beautiful prayer. John, can you please start the planetary visualization video?
Everybody.
So let's sit nice and tall in our seats, our feet on the ground. Straighten up your spine. Let that light be able to move nicely through your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Call up that light into your feet, up your legs, the trunk of your body, your arms, hands, up your neck and in your head as it loops back down into the earth, through your body, out the soles of your feet in a continuous flow. Let's begin setting everything into motion. I call for the divine Christ radiance to surround me. hermetically sealing around me. Nothing but love can penetrate this seal of divine light. I call for the divine light to enter my crown directly from source, moving through every atom, molecule, cell, and energy within my body and fields. The flow of divine light moves through my body into the earth, out through the soles of my feet, continuing in a steady flow and building in potency. I ask my higher self to connect my heart with the other prayer warriors all over the world, to create a unified effort as one mind, one heart, one intent. I call to the benevolent beings of light for their assistance. I ask my higher self to add power to the words of this planetary visualization. Now let us rest in the divine light, concentrating on our breath and on the light flowing. Let it clear your mind, breathing in the divine light, and hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. One last time. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out all the divine light. Extending your arms, turn the palms of your hands to face each other, about a foot apart. Visualize the earth and her atmosphere between your hands. The light will begin to flow into your hands and into the earth and her atmosphere. You'll feel it flowing. Let us call in the divine light. I am calling the violet ray as violet fire to flow directly from source into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating into the earth's surface all the way through to the core in a steady flow. I am calling the divine Christ radiance to move through my body, out through my hands and heart. The divine light is pouring into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating the surface and continuing to the center of the planet in a steady flow, blessing the earth in divine light. Now let us direct the divine light with authority. I am directing the divine light into the planetary grid lines, the electronic grid and meridian lines surrounding the earth, the ley lines crisscrossing the earth, repairing and charging these lines as the divine light moves in a continuous flow. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the kingdoms represented on earth and all life within each kingdom, the elemental, plant and food chain, the animal kingdom, human kingdom, angelic kingdom, and all kingdoms known and unknown. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the dimensions of the earth, penetrating these dimensions and all life within each dimension. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the waters of the earth, on the surface, under the surface, in the atmosphere, and all life within these waters, purifying the water as God intended in the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all land masses the continents and islands of land upon the earth's surface, and all life living upon the surface and under the surface. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the cities, towns, and communities upon the land, and all life living within inhabited locations on the earth. I am directing divine light to penetrate all of humanity on earth, every man, woman, and child incarnated on earth, lifting them in the light, awakening and ascending ever higher as divine source intended from the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all species of animals on the land, flying in the sky, all organisms and elementals on the surface and beneath the surface of the earth. I am visualizing the benevolent beings of light upon the earth, assisting all humanity, showing us the way, guiding us, assisting those awakened, and embracing those just awakening, leading humanity to a higher reality and to bring the concepts of a higher order of divine love for yourself and others. Now breathing deeply, taking in the entire picture of all that you have visualized, marveling as you help create a new heaven and a new earth, filled with divine light as divine source intended from the beginning. Let us express our gratitude. I am thanking the benevolent beings of light for their assistance and guidance. I thank my higher self for giving power to my words, manifesting my divine vision. I thank the divine light for its steady flow of purity to all creation. I thank Mother Earth for providing all of our needs from her abundance and beauty. I thank the angels in every color of the rainbow for their daily assistance and blessings. And I thank our divine source for all of creation. Concentrating on your hands as that light is pouring into the earth. And now place your hands upon your heart and feel the divine flow of light, giving thanks for being of service to our divine source. Now rest your arms, press your feet to the floor, become aware of your surroundings. And when you are feeling ready, open your eyes and return fully present. This visualization and directives of light is to co-create and manifest the transformation of our planet, giving back to her for all she offers to us. This is God's plan for this planet and all life upon her. So be it, and so it is. Amen and amen. You can have a copy of this visualization and a prayer to cleanse the earth. Visit our website, ourdivineorigin.com. Thank you.
John, you can stop recording for the night and return the host over to Barbara.